All right, welcome to the Good Rookies podcast. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are Good Rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's episode 46.
46.
Yo, 46, y'all. We are so excited. The gentleman we have on the podcast this week, he's been doing so much wonderful things for our community, for our youth. So Faheem, please introduce who we got.
So like you just said, he's doing enough things for the youth. We have, I guess, someone, actually, I'd probably say this is a real special episode, someone that I've known from I was a teen. So
Ooh,
this
that's
is
a long time ago, y'all. It's a long time ago. Okay? A long time ago. Go ahead, Faheem. Go ahead.
So definitely when we get to the For the Culture segment, we'll definitely be able to highlight his many achievements and his many moves that he's been making in the community. Let's welcome Kevin Francis to the podcast today.
Kevin,
Yes,
Kevin,
big up,
Kevin,
fans.
Kevin,
I appreciate my
Kevin,
fans. They
Kevin.
love,
Hey!
We all we got, people. We all
We
we
all we
got.
got. Yo, Kevin, you know Faheem from high school, dog. That's a
Yeah.
while. That's like
Yeah.
decades ago. So that's really cool.
Did
Any
you have
dirt you wanna? So hold up, Kevin. Any dirt for us? Any dirt for us? Come on, bro. Spill it. Any dirt.
No, if anybody has dirt, it's me. So but he was always the cool cat, man, in the background. You know what I mean? He was always that dude. So he's been consistent with that like our whole life. And my job was just to look out for him. Yeah, give him a couple bows here and there, but at the end of the day, like nobody was coming to mess with Faheem and his crew, man. Not with me around.
Nice. That's a real OG right there, for real.
Yeah,
we looked up to him for real.
That's real. That's real.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, as we get into the podcast, we're going to highlight your amazing contributions to our community and for the culture. But before we get to that, I want to ask you a question. Have you heard about this Siakam trade with the Warriors floating around? Your face just changed up.
Alleged.
Of course, it's alleged. Come on, listen, bro. I mean, come on, y'all. This is a freedom speech, right? So we're hearing now. We're seeing lots of ideas because with the Raptors, are we going to rebuild? Should we just get some? And the Warriors, obviously, they're desperate to get a ring. Clay's coming back. Steph Curry is on the ending of his career, not the ending, but he's not the same young boy from before. So the Warriors are trying to win this next couple of years. Like that's it. They want to win. So would you be open to trading with the Warriors? And if so, who would you want on that team for Siakam? I'm hearing Wiseman, maybe Wiseman and a few picks, but what's your thoughts on that entire scenario?
Well, my first thought, I want to say America left the team alone. We don't trouble you over here. We're in the North. We got lots to talk about. But I will say there's no way I'm trading Siakam for no Wiseman and no nothing. No. We don't get rid of our African players. I'm sorry. It's bigger than that. And I understand Golden State been wanting him since he made the disappearing act in front of Draymond Green. He's still looking for him with that piece of arrow step. So, no, you can do your thing over there, Golden State. You bit our Jurassic Park. At least you tried to. It wasn't the same. And now you want to come take our players? Who's next? Fred VanVleet? No. I'm not making that trade. I'm not even making that trade. So that's my answer to that is no.
So Kevin, so I'm going to ask then. So Siakam, before the bubble, thumbs up.
Yep.
In the bubble, thumbs down.
Okay.
Oh, you say
I don't think so, but okay.
Wow. Okay. So how can we make this quick here? You thought in the bubble he was thumbs up.
Well, I thought in the bubble I'm a defensive guy, right? So right. I always look at players that play on defense, and I didn't see any fall off on his defense.
That's true.
I just thought he didn't have a rhythm offensively, and that's that happens, and it's happened to the best of players being in a situation what they call a bubble. I know I wouldn't be playing my best in that situation, so I don't really beat him up the way that the media has or some of these bandwagon Raptors fans have, because I look at the whole skill set. And when you don't have a rhythm offensively, it doesn't mean you don't have a rhythm defensively. That's just my opinion. So I can't, I'm not in the beat up, he was this and then he was that. No, because we're looking at a player that just started playing ball at 16 years old. That's what I'm looking at.
Speak on it.
All these other guys started playing from 5. So I gotta give him a little blind here. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know he puts the work in, so I can't really do that. As somebody who's played the game, I can't do that.
So in the bubble, I would think he was supposed to be a number 1 option in the bubble.
Right.
What would you think? Do you think he's a number 1 option in the bubble?
Well, it's funny with the Raptors, because I think there's different number 1s
every night
on the situation.
Yep.
Right? Like, I think that's how they built that team. Not everybody can be a number 1, but you got at least like 3 guys in there that you could be your number 1, even if it's for a stretch or a whole game. So I think the way that system is set up, it's set up for a person who's hot.
It's funny. I think,
and I get it. Like, this number 1 option, and I understand all of that. But if you look at our system compared to other team system, we can mix and match, man. That's what makes them dangerous.
Okay, Nelly J.
Yeah, I said hell no to that trade. People were like, why? I'm like, it's a no for me. Wiseman played 3 games in college. He played only 39 games this year. Why are we going to trade away Siakam for someone that we don't know? Yes, he has potential. Everyone got freaking potential in the NBA, because you're in the NBA, you got potential, but I'm not going to trade Siakam for a Wiseman yet. No, like, have him play a full season first. I want to see him after his injury, how he looks. Like, I'm not going to trade someone that just left for surgery for Siakam. Like, I'm not doing that. To me, it's a very poor choice of players. To me, there's other people you can go after this offseason than Wiseman. Like, I'm not doing that trade. Sorry.
Me, I'm Wiseman, and they said, was it a 1st-round pick?
A seventh, I think, pick number 7.
So number 7. So that's the 1st round, number 7. Ooh, Wiseman, a 7 pick. I'll be honest. If Pascal Siakam left the Raptors, I think there are others that could come in and, like, OG. It's like addition by subtraction. Chris Boucher had a great chance to display what he had when we got rid of Ibaka and Marc Gasol. I think if we were to lose Pascal Siakam, that gives an opportunity for OG, who I realize are not the same player, but they're very comparable. I wouldn't be too upset if Pascal left. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, you don't like Pascal, so I'm not surprised.
No.
You don't like him.
A little bit like a hater there, Faheem.
Listen. Faheem has dashed Pascal to the left of the door from the bubble. He's been like, Pascal out.
Right.
And Faheem's very unforgiving, right? So, like, I'm not surprised. Like, you would trade Pascal for a bucket of Skittles and freaking some like KFC, bro. Like, you don't care about Pascal. So this is not a shock to me. Oh, really? Faheem, really?
You can hear it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. It's all good. Well, Siakam, the Toronto still loves you. I know some fans were kind of, salty after the bubble, but I know Siakam was going through some personal situations in a bubble, and he's a very emotional player. What that means is that when people like that, when they're emotional, on the court, it shows. At offensive, you can tell mentally he wasn't in the game. So I think when it comes to time, he can build that muscle, that mental muscle, and get better. He's an all-star. He can improve. So I'm not going to, and he will stay here. Listen. Players really want to stay in Toronto, okay? So when we get one to stay in Toronto and they're potentially an all-star and have been an all-star and have made the NBA all-team, right? I think those people should be hold on tight, right? And keep them. So that's why I'm like, Siakam, Nelly is your fan. Please stay. I'm not Faheem, bro. Don't. Yeah.
I'm with Nelly, man. I'm with
Kevin, we're with you. You're with the
okay, so
we're with you.
for both of you, I just want to throw this out there. So going forward, Pascal was an All-Star the year before and NBA second team. Salute that. Well done. Then this year, no NBA teams and no All-Star.
Right.
Going forward,
yes,
Do you think he still has an all-star and an NBA team in him?
I say yes.
100%.
I say absolutely yes. Yes, he does.
100%.
He does.
Because you see, you have people like Ben Simmons making All-Star.
He ain't gonna make it next year. He ain't gonna make that next year.
Okay.
Ben Simmons is done after this year. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
All
Ben
right.
Simmons. I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying. Faheem, look at Faheem. He's like, all right. How about you, Faheem? Is Siakam done for you? Is he done? Like he's finished. He has peaked in your eyes. Just say it. Just say it, bro.
I think every year there's a new crop of new people who come on the scene and make their move. And I think it's either you swing what you keep up with everyone else, you kind of fall behind. I feel like Pascal having no NBA teams and no All-Stars, that's kind of a step back for someone who's made it there. Like, for instance, Sabonis was an All-Star same time if Sabonis followed that up with another All-Star. And I could see maybe next year and going forward, Sabonis to continue being All-Star. Pascal still has to get back on that train again because like Jaylen Brown's taking his position and others have stepped
in. He's injured
too.
He's injured too.
You guys are being optimistic, saying that next year and going forward he has it in him, and I mean we'll see.
Also, keep in mind that I doubt Jaylen Brown will be a Celtics player after this offseason. He's out.
And we'll get to that.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Serena Williams withdraw from Wimbledon with a leg injury. A right leg injury, slipping on the grass. Reason why, so Nelly J, Kevin, just so you're on page, what's happened? Serena's one win away from breaking the Grand Slam record.
Big record.
Yes. So she's been trying to get this for the last 2 years, but has been falling short for multiple. It could be injuries happened before, or just losing matches. So,
having a baby, that's also a thing. Let's just put that in there.
That's okay.
Giving birth for him, birth.
Right.
Yes.
And actually, we can actually start with giving birth and everything else coming after, right? So that's fair. So here we are. Serena's out of Wimbledon. That's in tennis. That's the big one. That's the big Grand Slam you want to be a part of, right? So, Nelly J, I'm going to give you a chance to adjust if you feel. Going forward,
she's going to win a damn. Listen, she's going to win it, damn it. Don't try to adjust me. You understand? I'm a very, listen, my decision, my positive vibe for the ball. She's a GOAT in tennis, first of all.
She is.
So 100%. For me, I am not going against the GOAT. Like Michael Jordan, I never doubted him. I ain't doubting her for any reason. She slipped and she didn't withdraw because she wanted to, Faheem. She had to withdraw, clearly, because she wants to play in the future games, right? There's still U.S. What's happening? I think U.S. Opens this fall. There's opportunity for her to play, so I am not concerned. So as a fan, Serena, get well and come back stronger, girl. That's my thoughts.
Yes, Kevin, I'm gonna leave you to be the voice of reason for this, but I just want to say you mentioned you mentioned Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan, when he was in the Wizards, was not a winner. Like
no, but he came back.
Saying,
no, but he came back only to help them sell tickets. Let's be real here.
I guess.
And Jordan never said I'm going to win a ring when he came back. So don't listen.
No, but here's the thing, though. Serena, unfortunately, I think she's entering her Jordan Wizards years of her career,
and that's your opinion. And that's your opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like I hope she can, but the more as time goes on, it's going to be that much harder to do it. Kevin?
Well, there's a few things that run in my head when it comes to Serena, and I don't count people like Serena's or the Tiger Woods in this world out. I never do that. Okay. I think for this year for Wimbledon, I'll just talk about her removing herself. I think that there's a message in there for the Wimbledon people because a lot of players were talking about how slippery that grass was.
Thank you, Kevin.
Right? So I think that she's making a point. I'm not saying that she's not hurt. I don't know that she's injured. Let's just say that way. And I think that was a message loud and clear to Wimbledon, like, get it together on this grass. I'm not doing this. So I'm out. I think also there are a lot of players that didn't come, like Nadal didn't show up.
And Osaka.
There's issues going on there. that are big that we don't really know behind the scenes. In regards to the record, I am sick and tired of these fake records that they are trying to put our people up against to break them. We can never break certain records, even when we do, because they want to put certain people on pedestals as the face of their records. The Jack Nicklaus, who's never played against brothers, and we have to state that in all the records he broke in golf, where they're saying, oh, Margaret Court, same thing now. So we know, as I'm a person who watches tennis, anybody who watches tennis knows as soon as she beat Steffi Graf, it was a wrap. Okay? Margaret Court's Grand Slams got turned into Grand Slams in the 80s. They turned the Australian Open into Slam. So what are we really talking about here? Are we talking about the continuation of these so-called records that these people have? Because I don't think she could ever beat that. I think that personally, it's over, because I don't think you can count this woman's records as slams when you just added them later in life.
That's a good point.
It doesn't make sense to me, but it does make sense to me because I know the game. So now Serena's got this mental block, if you want to call it, in her head because of all this excessive pressure she has in regards to this. To me, it's a fake record. Steffi Graf was the one, and she beat her. And it's
that's fair.
No, I'm with you. That's how I feel about that.
I'm with you.
Good point, Kevin.
Do you think that she's going to win a Grand Slam going forward?
I think that she has at least a Grand Slam in her.
Really? Okay.
I think she's come very close a few times.
She has.
She, for whatever reason, tennis is a very, I'm not sure if many people know, but it's a very, very high intense emotional game, man. And you've seen it with how she's come back from break points. That's not easy to do when you're down how much break points and you come back and win. So we know she's mentally strong enough, but that back end pressure from the Nike corporations and whatever else's sponsors are behind her,
the media, the PR,
do with it, right? And she's got a baby now too. So there's a lot happening. I just personally think she's putting too much pressure on herself. That's what I think.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Because skill-wise, she looks great. She's moving great. She's, you know what I mean? Like, still strong, accurate, smart, intelligent. Like, all of those things are there. They haven't left her.
Right. And she's still ranked top 10. She's she's number 8. So
hey,
I get
Faheem, it only takes one, Faheem. It only takes one.
You're right. No.
But I think she's already done it. That's just
like Kevin, for me, she's the GOAT of tennis. Like no one is nobody to me is better than Serena in tennis world ever. No. So I'm with you there. No. But I think, like you said, she's putting pressure on herself, and that's a good point you made.
Yeah.
Very good. And I agree with the floor, actually. Like, yes, I agree. She's a GOAT at tennis. I just happen to feel that even though, like, you could be great, but you could be human. And I think having a baby, having age, having injuries, these are things right now that presently she's dealing with. And I think it's a hard hurdle to overcome when you have these young girls coming at your neck every Grand Slam. So I'm hoping it happens, but now Tiger Woods happened. And I doubted that Tiger would ever do it, and it happened.
You did. Yeah, you did. You
did
doubt Tiger Woods.
I mean, if I'm wrong, trust me. On this podcast, you will be hearing from me, Nelly J, 100% if it happens.
You'll be hearing from me. Forget that. You'll be hearing from my black ass.
You'll be hearing from me too.
You'll be hearing from me.
You know I'm coming for you. You already know.
You'll be hearing from me before you hear from me.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the Olympics coming up right now.
Yeah.
Olympic qualifying for Canada, Team Canada, Team USA already qualified. So Team Canada, solid roster. Just going to go over it really quickly in regards to the guards. We got Corey Joseph. We got Lou Dort, R.G. Barrett, Nikhil Alexander Walker. For the wing players, we got Wiggins, Trey Lyles, Anthony Bennett, Andrew Wiggins, and for the forwards we have Dwight Powell, and that's it. Andrew Nicholson is the last one. I don't know. What do you guys say with this roster that we have?
Well, I mean, it's a qualifying team.
Roster.
Yeah.
Qualifying, good.
It's only qualifying roster, not the Olympic roster.
So for this qualifying roster so far, because won the first game against Greece, so far we're okay.
Yeah.
But so far, any takers with the roster at all?
I'm not impressed. This roster is not winning a medal to me personally.
Right.
I think the global stage is different competition. There's a lot of great teams in the global scale, man. These guys and a lot of them play in the NBA. So, but I feel like other teams, the reason why Canada is not going to do well, which I feel bad saying this, I think we can win this qualifying tournament. But the reason why we don't do well is because other teams, they play together more often. They have that team chemistry, man. We don't have that, right? And I feel like even Team USA, their style of play is so similar. Whereas on Team Canada, you have European players, you got college players. Like, we got a lot of college players right now on our team. So they're young, they're not really mature enough sometimes to handle the high pressure situations. And we got NBA players. So there's all different types of players coming together to try to kind of find chemistry, So my thing is that, like, I think we can do well overall. Winning a medal, we have to beat Serbia. I don't think we're beating Serbia. We got it. And if Giannis is out, maybe Greece will not be a problem for us. But I feel like we have to play Spain. Their team's good. Like, I don't know. I'm not, and USA. Team USA is actually better than our team, of course. So it's like the medal will have to beat the top 5 teams, and they're all really good teams, like every year. And they're getting better as well. So I'm not sure about that. How about you, Kevin? Your thoughts on Team Canada and how we'll do?
Well, I think with Team Canada, these guys have played together a long time, because a lot of them have started together from their youths. Like, we forget about that part, right? I think the biggest issue with Team Canada was the errors that Steve Nash made personally, because Jay Triano destroyed us. Okay, we shouldn't even be here right now doing this. I watched them games when you went and bench Wiggins star. That to me was foul, and he should never have been the guy. It should have been Roy Renner from time. The only one that won under 19 World Championships, by the way, gold medal, Roy Renner, who's in Sacramento. So you're going to come pick your brethren, Jay Triano, and he mashed up Canada's chances. So now we have a qualifying roster team that's got to go out here and do things that nobody's ever been in a position like this before, where you can't even train in Canada, you're training in Tampa, then you got to come over here, even though you're hosting a tournament. It's a whole bunch of things going on. But I do think at the end of the day, when Canada plays together, I think a system like Nick Nurse has is perfect for the qualifying guys as well, because of that team concept mentality, especially on the defensive end. And even with Anthony Bennett, because I saw Faheem make a little chuckle. Like, even though Anthony Bennett was not what he was supposed to be in the NBA, I blame the Cavaliers for mashing him up. I honestly do. He was injured. There was a lot of things going on for that youth, and they never let him play in the D-League either. So, but when he plays internationally, he balls.
He balls, yeah.
Like, he balls on the international stage. So I think with these guys, they're very hungry, and I don't think there's any quit in this squad.
I hope so.
Although they're not looking like a gold medal type squad, I think we got some grinders on them.
Yeah.
And when you're playing international ball, you got to grind, man. It's a physical game out there. So.
You know what? I'm happy you said that, because I really, like, honestly, listen, guys, I would love for Canada to medal. I am just trying to be realistic here, because when I watched the World Championship, like, Cup, so some of those teams looked very good. And, like, what's the name? Marc Gasol, his team won, right, that year, the same year as the Raptors won. But it's kind of like, some of these players, even though like some of those teams look very good and look very, like, just the chemistry is crazy, it's insane, and they can shoot. They're shooters. My question is, who do we have to shoot the ball? I thought Dylan Brooks would play. I think if Dylan Brooks joins the Olympic team, that it's more promising for me. But I'm not sure why he's not playing right now. But maybe he wants a break or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so this qualifying roster that we have right now, to me, yes, so like we mentioned, it's early out, but here's the thing. I just think we lack solid bigs. Like, think about this. On the wings and the guards, we're good. Corey Joseph and, Wiggins. Like, we can go through the wings. When we talk our bigs, I'm not seeing Chris Boucher, who's Canadian. I'm not seeing even Kelly Olynyk. I mean,
I thought he would play. I thought he was gonna play.
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Not for the qualifying squad.
I'm not seeing Tristan Thompson. He's a big. I'm not seeing even Kem Birch.
No.
So there's like I'm saying like we have at our disposal some like not top caliber bigs, but very serviceable in an international game. I'm not seeing this on this roster. So realistically, in regard to predictions, I'm hoping as time goes on, we're going to be able to upgrade just a bit on the front court. Then I'll say this could get interesting. Until that happens, no, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, guys, keep in mind, right, with all the injuries happening, like Giannis just went down, Trae Young just went down. Like, I mean, I don't blame Nick Nurse saying, "Hey, y'all take a break." Remember, bigs get injured easily, so take a break. We'll qualify. Nick probably thinks that we have a good enough roster to win this tournament, so they picked who they thought was good enough. And the best team was Greece, and they don't got Giannis, so I think we could beat them. Even though if you watch that first game, I felt like we were kind of shaky in the first half, but then I felt like in the latter time, as the game went on, you could tell they got more comfortable and they got more in sync. So it's promising. I think we should win this tournament. After watching, like, you know what, we should win. But like you said, I'd be more comfortable if we had one solid big, like that you mentioned earlier as well. Yeah.
On the flip side now, so we're talking about Team Canada, which is kind of shaky early out. We'll see. A team that's pretty much solidified is Team USA. Their guards, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Drew Holiday, Damon Lillard, and Jason Tatum. On the wings, they got Chris Middleton, Jamani Grant, Draymond Green, and KD. And and for their bigs, it would be Kevin Love at center or Bam Adebayo at center. This squad I think it has gold medal all over it. No?
Durant's on it, yes, for me.
Yeah, that's all you want. Just
listen, the guys,
KD, that's it, right?
What Kevin Durant did in the playoffs by himself, that 49-17, whatever, he 10 game. Listen, Kevin Durant, any team is a gold medal for me personally. Like, I'm not even doubting this guy. Especially how he lost in the playoffs. That's an angry man right now. Like, that guy's angry as hell. So I could see him going to the Olympics, very hungry to want to medal and win that gold medal. Like, your thoughts on that, Kevin, on the USA team?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Kevin Durant is not trying to lose again. So he's definitely going to take it on his shoulders. My only question is, we have Popovich, that's the coach, Team USA. And we all know his system, how he implements his system. Now, will he allow players to be who they are? That I don't know yet. Because if he brings the San Antonio Spurs system, you can't really shine. It's a different type of makeup. So that's the only question I have. I don't think that they can lose, even with, they got players like Kevin Love on there where I'm like, okay, really? But they're so confident because of their front end. Like, you got the red, you're good. Like, you know what I mean? So you can afford to come give Kevin Love a little blie and let him come in on the squad,
true.
kind of thing, right?
True.
But I think I don't think that they're I don't think they should lose. Let's just put it that way. I don't think they should lose. Not with KD.
Agreed.
No. Any KD that's a deal breaker right there.
Yeah.
So watch this. So we have some new hirings in the NBA. We have Chauncy Billups in Portland. We have Jason Kidd in Dallas, and we have Ime Udoka in Boston.
My Nigerian brother, yes.
Finally.
The first Nigerian coach in the NBA.
Finally.
Osa. Yep.
What's your thoughts? We'll go through this real quick. Let's talk about Chauncy first. Nelly J,
Controversial. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I remember there's something about his allegations, but they never really had anything after. Like he was like so no one really knows, and people are overreacting. Like it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, I can't comment on it. Like people are upset. I can't be upset because I don't know. So Chauncy going to Portland, I think they did a good thing to do that. Allegation doesn't mean he was charged, doesn't mean he was guilty, y'all. So people are just really taking rumors and creating a lot behind it with no facts, right?
So
Facts
for anyone who doesn't know, that's a case that goes back, was it 10 years ago, right? Maybe
about 10 years ago, yeah.
Okay,
I think,
just for anyone who may not know,
an alleged case, alleged. Nothing was charged against him. It was kind of secret.
For Dame, though, do you think Chauncy, that's enough to keep Dame in Portland? I'm going with yes. Anyone else?
So Dame is saying something different because someone tweeted at Dame saying on Twitter, and Dame was like, "Oh, is that the case?" And he's upset. But I'm like, Dame, like this guy's on Twitter. Why are you gonna take a Twitter user's comment and not ask your agent? Ask somebody that you know that knows the deal, right? Like at this point, it's kind of wishy-washy. I don't know.
All right. What about you, Kevin?
Well, I think that it is the destruction of the black man. I'm going to say that. The NBA has had a huge issue with hiring those of African descent, African ancestry in coaching positions and in upper management. That is happening. It is a sad situation. And I think now that they've given some brothers a chance to get back in there. Chauncy Billups should have been there from a long time ago. I'm not getting into any allegations where there's no charges or anything. That's not what I'm here for.
Right.
Skill-wise, he should have been there. He's been in talks for general manager position. So
yes,
he should have been in there from time. Jason Kidd, we already know he's in and out. We already know his past history. And now you've got my Nigerian brother in the house, finally, after all this time, which is really what the people should be talking about. Why is it taking this long? You still got Darwin Ham sitting there. He should have been coach from time. So we have all of these brothers coming in at once, and I think it's because the NBA knows they have a problem right now. So what are you going to do? What's the media going to do that we don't control? We're not behind the scenes. They're going to have a modern day lynching attack on these brothers. The only one they can't come after is my Nigerian brother now.
He's clean, yo.
Right?
Yep. And also his wife is Nia Long. Yes. Nia Long, right? Yo.
But you know what I'm saying? Like this is, I don't like to get caught up in how they present these guys. What I know is I watch them play. That's what I know. And I watched guys on the court that were highly, highly intelligent when they played this game. So I'm very happy for them and them getting this opportunity. And my focus is going to be on that, on them getting this opportunity that is lacking in a league who puts out this image of being about diversity and justice and all this stuff. And it's not happening. We have Masai, who's the only president with, so that means he can attend owners' meetings, I believe. And I think he's the only one in North America.
I think there's another one now. I think there's two black presidents now. I think there's two.
Yeah, but he's the only one that has the right to go to the owners' meetings.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing. They have president and associate or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he is the only African in North American history with that role in any sport.
Right.
Baseball, hockey, you name it, man. NFL, he's the only one. So we need to be happy for our brothers that are getting a shot in this league because it's long overdue, man. It's long overdue.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's true. I think so. With Chauncy Billups, I think that's enough to keep Dame in Portland. I think Chauncy being a point guard, having a chance. I think Dame, like when Terry Stotts left, it was kind of like a big question mark. Is Dame going? Is he staying? I just think Chauncey's enough for I think he respects him enough to say, let's give it another shot. I thought my prediction is he stays. Jason Kidd in Dallas, I think that's a marriage in heaven right there. You have Luka and Jason Kidd, who are both point guards who shoot, rebound, like walking triple doubles.
Yes.
Luka already comes with a winning mentality from the time when he's in Europe, even before the NBA. Jason Kidd, he's been a winner and he's a Hall of Famer. And he's, when you talk top 5 point guards in the game, he's in the conversation. Like, so Luka, especially this young in his career, is going to soak a lot from Jason Kidd. So it sums up to Jason Kidd. And for Udoka in Boston, yeah, it's long overdue for him. His name has always been in rumblings of he's always getting interviewed, but never getting the job. So it's nice to see that's finally happening. Ironically, in Boston, where Kyrie came out and was talking about racism in Boston, and then you have
why they hired him. Let's be real, guys.
I'm just walking through.
Connect the dots.
But regardless, he's well deserving.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Oh, he's beyond like I agree. I'm happy with all 3 hirings, to be honest. Like, I'm happy to see more Black coaches. It just sucks when the media tries to diminish or use old allegations to like demean someone. Like, you're writing an article about someone and you have no clue what happened. And like, well, the fans want to know what happened. Like, no, fans, it's none of your goddamn business what happened. Like, it's like your business. Why do you want to know what happened? Like, why do you want to know? The only person who should care are the players on that team. If they want to know, that's their right. But as a fan, who is you? Who is you? So I'm just very happy for them. And like you said, I think Boston needed him to be there, because I think the players there weren't really wanting to stay after what happened. Their team is kind of like only JT and Jaylen Brown. That's it. And I think that team needs someone. So I think he's going to really help them build. And Jason Kidd, yeah, like that's no brainer, like no freaking brainer. Like, when I saw Rick Carlisle leave, I'm like, yep, that's Kidd's job. Kid's going to go there. Like, it was obvious. It was obvious.
Right. Yeah. It feels right. So it's about that time, Nelly J. Let's go to For the Culture.
For the Culture. We like to highlight individuals. That's For the Culture, y'all. And this week, we're going to highlight Mr. Kevin Francis. So Kevin is Executive Director at Diversified Youth. And that program is a non-for-profit that's dedicated to empowering the youth. So Kevin, I love seeing Black leaders in our community doing things for our youth, because these Black boys and girls, a lot of times, due to systemic issues, systemic barriers like in education, in work, in environment, their parents go through, sometimes they start off this life in Canada already below the line. And so what you're doing at this great organization is really amazing. So can you kind of walk us through what you guys are doing with the youth, and of course, highlight and tell us why did you want to join this program or volunteer here?
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And I want to big up all the youth, first and foremost, because without them, there is no Diversified Youth. It came to existence because there was a ton of gaps in the system, and gaps meaning supports in place for these young youth that are out there. There's a lot of finger pointing, but there's not a lot of solutions as to how we can help. So we put together a program that's based on empowering youth and putting them in leadership positions. And it started off, to be honest with you, with local all-age dances. That's what it started off doing. And it started off from 200, and we got up to 500 youth in an area that we would rent. And the claim to fame, I just want to say with that, was we had not one violent incident in all the years that we ran stuff for these kids. Why? Because we gave all of those ones that you said were no good, rotten apples, and we all gave them positions. So they became the promoters, they became the security, they became the DJs, they became the dancers, they became everything you said that they couldn't become. And because of them, we had peace every single time on time. So that grew into other programs and sports where we helped them with jobs, employment, counseling, basketball camps right here, skill set ball camp.
Yeah, I saw that, the basketball camp.
And only free sports nutrition and life skills camp in the whole region of Waterloo. Started in 2017. And we know we got some really good help from some of the smaller organizations, I should say, groups in Cambridge that wanted to support these youth. So basically we set it up where we brought in top quality coaches, dietitians, health and wellness experts, young athletes that are actually trying to make it into different leagues, hockey, baseball. We brought in parents. We brought in Black professionals to come and speak to all of these youth. So the program, 8 a.m. in the morning till 2 p.m. Don't be late. If you're late, everybody's going to run. That's just the way it works. So it really has impacted our community on a level that I've never seen before. And we don't have as much support from the political leaders that we should. But I've met with them, I've sat with mayors, I've sat with MPs, and I've all told them to their face, it doesn't matter regardless, if you don't support this, it's going to happen anyways. So that's always the mentality. And so I have a great team of people and volunteers and now new partner agencies that'll be working with us in order to grow bigger and reach more youth. And I'm excited to announce that we have a whole virtual platform coming, which is going to help us to get youth in every city across this beautiful place that
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you because I was like, I know with schools now to add the virtual element, if you guys are going to be adding that as well.
We're adding that platform as we speak right now. We're actually just did our first virtual event on last Saturday, which was amazing. And we're bottom up. So we always like to take input from the youth about what they want to see and what they want to learn about. We're not telling them, we're asking them. See, that's the difference between us and everybody else, right? We need their input in order to make us go. And once we get their input, we will create opportunities for them. They can call us anytime, email us anytime. And now with the virtual thing, we'll be putting a lot of them in positions to run their own little event online, whether that's the top ball. So I'll be calling on you guys to come through for that, or whether that's, to talk about, hey, listen, I just started my first job. This is what I went through. This is the things that I'm doing. So we always use the older to empower the younger, and we make that a snowball effect, and it's worked well. And, check us out, diversifiedyouth.com. You'll see some changes to that site coming up. But it's all, at the end of the day, everything we do is no cost to the community. We're tired of families being charged for programs that they can't afford. So we don't want to charge people that are at the poverty line or below the poverty line or anything. We're not like other agencies. We refuse to do that. Nobody should be charged money, and it shouldn't be in the disguise of subsidy anyways. It should be free, and that's what we're going to continue. That's our angle. Everything we do is free for the community, especially for those living in and around affordable housing. That's the key. So moving forward, Diversified Youth has made it's our mission basically to provide free program services and supports for all youth and their families. Because once we get to the youth, we get to the families. We found out a lot about kids, how they eat, just when they were coming to our ball camp. What did you eat this morning? Oh, some sugary cereal type thing. You know what I mean? So we made sure we had chefs in there, big up the Spice Sisters, and they would make rice and peas, jerk chicken, lasagna, salads, fresh fruit for snacks, everything that an athlete would eat, that's what we fed them. And then our dietitian would break down food for them so that they could take the information home and say to their parents, look, man, I would rather have this than you buying this stuff for me.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
and that was one of our big things.
So, Kevin, I just want to mention, like I was saying right at the offset, known you since I was in high school.
Yes.
A reason why I'm saying that you're like a lifelong social, like this is your career path. Because I'm thinking back to high school, you would have been what, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
It's not too often that someone at 16 and 17 makes a decision for what they're going to study in school.
Absolutely.
And you find themselves 30 years later and they're actually doing what they studied in school.
Right.
You know?
So
you at 16 and 17 said, you know what? I want to do something social for the youth.
Yeah.
Which is like pretty mature, I probably say. For,
I was going to ask you, Kevin,
for a teenager to be thinking of giving back.
Yeah. Like, Kevin, like, I'm curious to know where that passion come from, because when you talk about it, like, you're so passionate. So I'm curious to know, where did that passion stem from? Like, was it a childhood experience, something you saw? Like, why did you decide to commit yourself to the youth?
Well, I think from when I was younger, I was always that kid that people came to with issues. Like, I was that kid. My house was the safe house you could come to, you know what I mean, and chill and relax and not worry about anything. And I think too, this really goes back to when I was actually smaller, growing up, and I had sisters that were involved in the community. So I was seeing that from 3, 4, 5 years old. And, you know, going on to trips. I remember one year going to Jamaica and I was teaching other kids how to read. And I brought books down. And you know, so it's been in me from I was small, and it never left me, and I never kind of wavered. You know, I mean, I think there was one time I was really into biology. I like the sciences too. So I kind of thought, I would be in the, you know, I knew the whole table in chemistry. I knew, you know, how to dissect animals. Well, that might be something for me. But the drawing was always coming back to supporting youth. Right. And there's a lot of people I could thank along the way. But basically, even through high school, junior high school, I was refereeing basketball leagues and I was doing basketball camps for kids. And so it's always been that give back has always been in me. And my family was a give back family too. So it goes back to my grandmother feeding the community in Spanish Town, Jamaica, when other parents couldn't feed their children. They were coming to my house or our family's compound, and they were eating there. But they also had to do chores. So
back in the day,
just a free meal, but you had to do chores. So I've always been about that life, and I'm glad that I had that spirit in me to give back. And so I'm pointing my fingers at all you grown-ups out there that want to call out names and say things to youth. The problem with our youth today is we left them. We left them to raise themselves. And until we take responsibility and accountability for us leaving them, then we're not in no position to point fingers at them. Okay? Because that's facts, man. That's what's happened out there. And I can honestly tell you that because I've worked in many communities and I've visited many homes. So I've seen it for myself. This isn't just talk. This is frontline grassroots work here.
Right.
And we left our youths.
Right.
I was there. My brethren was there for Faheem. Right. I don't know what happened after that, because all of a sudden now I got youths that are left to raise other youths. Right. Like, this is not working out here.
Right.
And you can't honestly, I try to talk to them and they're rude. And I would be too.
They're angry.
Mechanism, right?
They're angry. And it's great you mentioned that, because what I like about your organization that you work with the youth, I admire that the programs are variety. It's not just one thing. So for folks who don't know, they have skill set programs for sports camp, youth committee, mentoring, for leadership programming, steel pan classes. I'm training, so steel pan classes.
Yes, cooking basics.
Yes, right. And then you could even have workshops called Bring the Beat Back. I think it's more music, employability to help them get a job because you got to work to pay your bills. And I love the last one, fundamentals of money, which is so what you're doing is like pretty much creating and giving these kids life skills and giving them confidence to be able to survive in this life. Because in school now, we're taught what? The certain things that won't help us to survive, right? So you're actually going to help these kids survive with basic skills, which aren't taught in schools because some teachers, let's be real, do not care for the POC community. So I'm really happy that you guys are doing this. My last point was, have you guys thought about adding any kind of like technology type program? 'Cause I know coding is getting big now and laptops. So questions around that for future initiatives for the program. Yeah.
And I want to big up Black Print Media when I say this. Black Print Media all day, every day.com. Check them out. So with our partners, Black Print Media, we actually have a program coming where we teach how to build websites and how to do it yourself, and how to do graphic design for your flyers, or if you want to design t-shirts, hats. So that's another part of our programming that's coming online as well. So yeah, we're all about independence and teaching them, because you had mentioned the word survive. We're trying to move them from survive to thrive. Okay, that's what we want them to do, because once they thrive, is that they're going to show other people how to thrive.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we want. And that's what builds communities, right? That's what changes a place you call the hood to a community.
Right? I love it.
Thriving.
On the way out of horticulture, I just want to mention this. Kevin went to school for social work, after work in detention centers after. You've been on programs for provincial and federal also for incentives with that. So we're talking about someone who he's all the way in the trenches with this. So he's someone that we definitely want to highlight, and we appreciate his work that he's putting out for the youth.
Yes, Kevin, thank you so much, brother. Like, folks, if you want to get involved, if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, like, these programs need money, y'all. So people go, oh, I'm not sure how. Now you know how, y'all. Look up at Diversified_Youth. They're at IG. I'm going to have their handles, their website. Look them up. They're in Waterloo, and they're going to be now be able to help other youth in other parts of Ontario. So this is going to be massive. I think our youth is going to need this, especially for those who, especially now with COVID and summertime's coming out now, your kids are like, they're bored. Get them in the program, okay? Period. Kevin, thank you for being horticulture. Thank you for doing what you're doing. You are a leader. You're a hero. Real talk, you're a freaking hero. And we appreciate you being on the podcast today. Real talk. Real talk. I Faheem.
Appreciate it.
Let's do it. Let's close it out with That's Absurd.
That's absurd. Faheem, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
First of all, congratulations. The Montreal Canadiens being the Stanley Cup Finals.
Absurd. Absurd. No, real talk though, guys. No one thought, like, what was it, like 4-5 record?
I'm coming with the olive branch. I did, I was obviously going for for the Leafs, but I respect the fact that Montreal got through.
I agree.
Salute.
I respect it.
Okay, salute with that. But what the absurd part is, tickets for the finals have hit to $32,000. I'm gonna go with absurd.
Hold up. Is that USA or is that Canadian?
Good question.
That's gonna be US.
Oh Lord. Damn. That's crazy. Is that more than like, that's crazy to me, y'all.
So to keep it in context, I actually looked up to see what was because there's obviously the reason why is, like, this is something that happens, once every 2 decades. It's like, it's not a regular occurrence that you have, first of all, a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup Finals to begin with. I looked up just to see the equivalent, which it's not the equivalent, but I went with the Raptors winning the championship. And you know that Raptors ticket prices hit $60,000?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I
could believe that.
So making that $32,000 for Montreal, not that bad.
Yeah.
But
for a corporate guy.
yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's wild, y'all. But that's absurd to me. I don't care. 60K is absurd.
That could feed a lot of children. That could feed a lot of children.
Yeah, that can like help like pay tuition for at least 5 or 10 kids in Canada.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that to me is just that's
Crazy.
above my price range, y'all.
Yeah.
I will stream that stuff for free. Shoot, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Absurd.
Absurd. Alrighty. So let's put this episode in the books.
All right.
In the books. Wow, that was episode 46.
46.
Oh my gosh, y'all. So before we go, we love to give our guests a chance to do a shout out. Nice. So Mr. Kevin Francis, aka Hero of Ontario. Floor is yours, buddy. Floor is yours.
All right, man. I gotta first and foremost big up my son, Kingston Jahari, all day long, man. You're everything to me. I want to big up the Spice Sisters, my wife, and her personal chef business. And I also want to shout out Black Print Media, man. Like, they really been with us from day one. If you really want a proper website, go see them, man. They're very good, excellent at what they do. And I can't not shout out all the youth them, because you guys are the future, and we will support you from Cambridge, Galt, Preston, Hespeler, Waterloo region, all the youths them at Chalk Farm, Driftwood, Shoreham, San Romano, Gosford, Malvern, Rivertown, Antigua, as we call it, Wadadley, Barbados, Yard, Brantford, everybody, all of the young people, we're here for you. And we will always be here for you. Just tap into us anytime, info@diversifiedyouth.com. Let's go, man. We got you. We got you.
I love it, yo. My shout out's pretty quick. I want to shout out Mr. Kevin Francis, aka Hero of Ontario. Y'all support the Diversified Youth. It's a simple decision, y'all. Make sure you contact him. He's a leader, and we got to have and protect our leaders in our community, period. My second shout out is to Queen Latifah. She won the Lifetime Achievement Award on the BET Awards this week. And that girl, she's an actress. She's a singer. She's a rapper. She's a writer. Like, she's just incredible. So big up Miss Queen Latifah. Faheem.
My shout out's quick. Kevin, it's a pleasure. Like, I'm actually honored that you're here with us today.
Thanks, brother.
I want everyone to tap in to Kevin's page, Diversified Youth. Engage with him, because his online persona is on point. He's funny, engaging, and it's all about partnerships also. So if anyone knows of somebody who can maybe help along the way or be involved in any way, don't hesitate to email Kevin, get out to Kevin, reach out. Kevin, your email once again.
You can email me straight at kevin@diversifiedyouth.com. That'll come directly to me.
There you go. Because what's
DM
happening,
me on the gram, I'll get that too.
Because what's happening in the KW region, Toronto, it's all the same movement, and it's about connecting the dots. So let's put this episode in the books, Nelly J.
Episode 46, y'all.
46.
So if you had a good time, you know what to do, y'all. Please have a like, subscribe, tell a friend. And of course, y'all, if you have any suggestions for topics, email us, goodrookiespodcast@gmail.com. Faheem.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. And while you're telling a friend, also tell a friend about Diversified Youth.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
That's the episode. We'll put it in the books. And that's Good Rookies Podcast. And we out.
Episode 46. Bye.
Peace.